A peaceful-looking house in the middle of the city. At first glance, it seems like any other. But inside, it hides secrets that have brought tragedy to 3 generations who lived there. The father, once perfectly healthy, suddenly fell seriously ill for no clear reason. The son kept getting into accidents, and his career quickly spiraled downward. The daughter-in-law found herself constantly caught in arguments, which eventually led to separation. And the strange thing is, even people who moved in afterward ended up facing the exact same misfortunes. According to Feng Shui, a house is not just a place to live. It is also where the energies of heaven and earth converge. If it stands on good land, full of vital and harmonious energy, the family will enjoy good health and prosperity. But if the land is shrouded in negative energy, or if the house is built in a way that violates certain forbidden principles, then it becomes a prison for bad luck. The tragedies that unfold are no longer just coincidences, but the result of energy flows being thrown out of balance. In today's video, you will learn the warning signs that a house might be holding on to bad energy, why even the smallest details can have the power to shape the destiny of an entire family. And most importantly, how to fix it so peace and prosperity can return. Before we dive into the story, take a moment to say an affirmation out loud to open up a flow of positive energy. My family is welcoming peace and prosperity into our home. And do not forget to subscribe to the channel so you can keep exploring the Feng Shui secrets that might just change your fate. Dangerous house type number 1. A house built on an underground water vein. In Feng Shui, water is always seen as the source of life. It carries the flow of energy and wealth. A house with a clear lake in front, or a gentle river flowing around it, is often considered a blessed place, filled with good fortune. But when water flows in the wrong place, when it hides deep beneath the ground and wins directly underneath a home, it becomes what is called an underground water vein, a hidden threat that most people overlook. Homes built on these underground water streams often share very noticeable signs. The floor tends to stay unusually damp, even if the owners have tiled it, waterproofed it, or built it solidly. At night, cold air rises from the ground, making the entire house feel chilly and uncomfortable. Some rooms remain humid, even with the doors tightly closed, causing blankets, clothing, and fabric to grow moldy very quickly. People who live in such houses often face various health problems. The underground water flow disrupts the energy field, making it hard to sleep peacefully. It causes anxiety, uneasiness, and stress. Over time, the body becomes more prone to illness, especially problems related to the kidneys, bones, joints, and respiratory system. In many cases, families who moved into these homes found their health declining within just a few years. And what is strange is that the illnesses are often persistent and difficult to cure. Not only does health suffer, but finances also take a heavy hit. There is a saying in Feng Shui, water governs wealth. That means water is directly tied to money. When water flows underground in the wrong place, financial energy also flows away with it, just like a leak that never stops. The more the family tries to save, the faster it seems to disappear. Money does not stay, and business opportunities often slip away into the hands of others. In some rural areas, there have been reports of entire neighborhoods built over underground water veins. Most people living there constantly struggle with poor health and hardship. No matter how many generations come and go, poverty stays and sickness lingers. Those with knowledge of Feng Shui can only shake their heads because the root of the problem is not the people, it is the land itself. The dangerous part is that many people, when faced with this situation, try to fix it by moving furniture around, changing the bed's direction, or placing some feng shui items in the house. But all of those solutions are just surface-level patches. The real problem lies in the water vein, a deep underground current that cannot be controlled or eliminated with a few simple tricks. Dangerous house type number 2. A house built on land where a tragedy once occurred. In Feng Shui, it is believed that every piece of land carries a unique energy memory, preserved over decades, even centuries. This energy is not created randomly. It is shaped by the events, emotions, and life that once unfolded on that land. Some places have been filled with laughter, warmth from family, or the prosperity of a thriving community. That kind of positive energy settles in, turning the land into what is known as a lucky ground, full of life force and capable of nourishing people and wealth. But on the flip side, there are places that have witnessed sorrow and tragedy, war, separation, disease, loss, or family disasters too painful to speak of. These events leave more than just historical traces. They get etched into the land's energy field, creating a dark and heavy aura that lingers for generations. When a house is built on land with a tragic past, it is immediately covered in that unstable energy layer from the very beginning. The people who live there can usually feel something is off, an invisible sense of coldness or unease, like a weight hanging in the air, making it hard for the atmosphere to ever feel truly clear or harmonious. The first and most obvious impact is on the mental well-being of the residents. Under the influence of this heavy energy, people tend to become more emotionally sensitive, anxious, tense, or frequently fall into a state of apathy and lack of motivation. Simple joys become harder to maintain, and instead, a sense of sadness, fatigue, or feeling trapped slowly creeps in. But it does not stop at mental health. The family's fortune is also affected. In Feng Shui, wealth energy can only gather in a space that is bright, open, and full of balanced, flowing life force. But when the land has been tied to sorrow, the energy is constantly tainted by past trauma. That negative force disrupts business opportunities, causes setbacks in careers, and often causes success to slip away just before it is fully realized. One important thing to remember: the energy of land does not disappear in just a few years. It can fade gradually if the area is nourished with new sources of positive energy. But if the past tragedy was too severe, the aftershock of that energy can last for decades, even across multiple generations, keeping the living environment unstable, no matter how many times the house is renovated or how many new owners come and go. From a Feng Shui perspective, this is considered a very unique kind of harmful land. It does not come from natural features like mountains or rivers. It comes from history and emotional trauma tied to the ground. That is why these invisible imprints cannot simply be wiped away with minor changes, like rearranging furniture, adding protection charms, or repainting the walls. Once the land remembers pain, the house built on it will always carry part of that memory, making peace extremely hard to maintain. Dangerous house type number 3. A house built on land where accidents frequently occur. In Feng Shui, a house can only bring peace when the energy surrounding it flows in a balanced, harmonious way, with a place to settle and gather strength to nourish those inside. But there are some houses built in locations where energy constantly crashes, clashes, and spins out of control. These are usually homes near sharp intersections, steep slopes, or busy roads where traffic and people constantly cut across each other. From the outside, these homes may look just like any other, but within the energy field, they carry a hidden instability. This phenomenon is known in Feng Shui as crossroads killing energy, a chaotic force created by constant collisions and disruptions. When a house is placed in such a location, the surrounding energy cannot gather. It gets scattered or pulled away in different directions. Imagine the house standing in the middle of an invisible whirlwind, caught in non-stop turbulence, unable to absorb any calm or nurturing energy. The consequences show up clearly in everyday life. The unstable energy field makes people more irritable, more likely to lose their temper. Conflicts between family members arise more easily, and relationships between spouses, parents, and children grow tense. Beyond that, the lack of energy balance impacts work and finances. Projects that seem close to success get derailed. Good opportunities come and go quickly, leaving the homeowners feeling stuck and unable to move forward. It does not stop there. This kind of chaotic energy also affects physical safety. People living in such homes tend to experience minor accidents, bumps, falls, slips, or small collisions. These are not just coincidences. They are the natural result of living long-term in an environment where energy is always fractured and unstable. What is truly concerning is that this situation does not only affect one family, it repeats over and over, with nearly every resident who has lived there facing the same restlessness and risks. That proves the issue is not with the people, it is with the land itself. In Feng Shui, houses like this are classified as having extremely strong killing energy, and the clear recommendation is this: such places are absolutely not suitable for long-term living. Dangerous house type number 4, a house located near a place filled with dark energy. In Feng Shui, a house can only be filled with prosperous energy when it is situated in a clean and vibrant environment, where life force energy can flow freely, gather, and nourish the people living inside. The surrounding environment acts like an energetic coat that wraps around the home. If that coat is bright and full of vitality, the house becomes a warm and lucky shelter. But if the house is too close to places that carry dark or polluted energy, the surrounding energy field becomes disrupted, and the home will struggle to maintain harmony. Places like cemeteries, hospitals, landfills, slaughterhouses, or prisons all emit heavy energy. Cemeteries are associated with death and separation. Hospitals carry the residue of illness and suffering. Landfills and slaughterhouses accumulate foul, stagnant air. And prisons hold resentment, anger, and chaos. This negative energy does not stay confined. It slowly spreads, seeping into the nearby space and directly affecting homes in close proximity. The first and most obvious impact is on human health. Living long-term in an atmosphere filled with negative energy weakens the body, making people feel tired, sluggish, and lowering the immune system. Humans need light, fresh air, and positive energy to stay balanced. But when surrounded by negative forces, that balance is broken, and emotional stability becomes harder to maintain. Beyond physical health, finances and fortune are also heavily impacted. In Feng Shui, the surrounding environment is a critical factor in determining whether a house can gather positive energy. When yin energy dominates, yang energy cannot flow properly, and wealth energy gets scattered. People living near dark or polluted areas often face stagnation in their careers, difficulty accumulating savings, and even when good opportunities arise, they tend to vanish quickly without lasting results. Another consequence is the emotional toll. Living in a space surrounded by darkness and negative air makes people more anxious, more stressed, and over time, less hopeful about the future. A house should be a safe haven, a place that brings comfort. But in these cases, it becomes a heavy and suffocating space where it is difficult to find true inner peace. What is worth noting is that homes near these areas of dark energy rarely keep their residents for long. At first, people might not notice anything wrong, or they might ignore the warning signs because the location seems convenient or the price is attractive. But over time, the effects of the negative energy become impossible to ignore. As health declines, mental peace fades, and work stalls, people are eventually forced to move away in search of a brighter, more uplifting space. Dangerous house type number 5. A house with a constant change of owners. In Feng Shui, a good house reflects a strong and lasting bond between the land and its residents. When the environment is harmonious and energy flows smoothly, homeowners tend to settle down with peace of mind, building and nurturing their home over time. But a house that constantly changes owners, even if it looks beautiful and has a tempting price tag, is actually a major red flag. This is not a random coincidence. It is a clear sign that the house holds negative energy. The most noticeable characteristic of this kind of house is the repeating pattern in its history. One family after another moves in, only to leave again shortly after, unable to maintain a stable life. The issue is not about physical condition. It stems from the home's energetic field. The energy here is often misaligned or broken, causing ongoing disruptions for those who live inside. When family conflicts increase, work becomes frustrating, mental health declines, and physical well-being deteriorates. People have no choice but to leave in search of peace elsewhere. In Feng Shui, this recurring change of owners carries a very specific meaning. A house filled with good energy has a magnetic quality. It attracts and holds on to people, making them want to stay and grow roots. In contrast, a house with bad energy repels. It pushes people away, bringing unexpected misfortunes, as if the house itself refuses to accept them. This repeated pattern proves that the problem is not with the individuals. It is an energetic instability deeply embedded in the land and the very walls of the house. The negative energy in houses that frequently change owners cannot be resolved simply by renovating, redecorating, or adding Feng Shui items. The root of the issue lies in the energy flow of the land, which cannot be shifted through superficial fixes. A house like this is like a vase with a hidden crack. No matter how much you polish or cover it up, it will never be whole on the inside. That is why Feng Shui experts always advise, when looking to buy or rent a home, do not be fooled by appearances or a good deal. What matters more than anything is the history of the house. If a property keeps changing hands and no one ever stays long, that is the clearest sign of an unstable energy field. Now that you know the types of houses to avoid because of their negative energy, the next important question is, how can you choose a good home? One that truly nurtures the health and fortune of your family. A truly good home is more than just a shelter. It is a space that nurtures health, supports emotional well-being, and enhances the destiny of everyone living there. When faced with multiple choices, we often focus on price, size, and convenience. But from a Feng Shui perspective, those are only surface-level factors. The core element lies in the flow of energy that the home absorbs and radiates. A house filled with positive energy will make you feel calm the very moment you step inside, and its signs are not hard to recognize. A good house is first and foremost a place that breathes with nature. When sunlight reaches into every corner, the home stays bright, warm, and full of life. Sunlight represents yang energy, the source that balances out dark spaces, clears away heaviness, and invites new vitality. Alongside that is the natural flow of air. Air should move in and out freely, not too forceful, not too stagnant. When light and air work in harmony, the house's energy field becomes clean and uplifting. People who live there tend to be healthier, more relaxed, and family relationships become more harmonious. Light and air are just part of the equation. The presence of life around the house also speaks volumes. Lush green trees, vibrant plants, or a gentle stream flowing nearby are all strong signs that the land is rich with life force. In Feng Shui, greenery represents growth, and water symbolizes wealth. When both are present in balance, it is a clear indication that nature is supporting the home, and the homeowners will find it easier to enjoy abundance and stability. A space surrounded by the breath of life makes people feel refreshed, like they are being recharged every day. The location of the house also plays a crucial role. Good land is always associated with peace. A piece of land that has experienced frequent misfortunes or conflict will struggle to maintain harmonious energy. On the other hand, an area that is calm, with few accidents or disputes, is a place where positive energy can accumulate and last. When the environment is stable, the family living there has a strong foundation to grow and thrive. In other words, outer peace acts as a protective shield for the inner destiny. And perhaps the most important, and yet most simple thing, is the feeling the house gives you the very first time you walk in. People are more intuitive than we think. Your gut instinct can often tell right away whether a place is right or whether something is off. A good home is one where, the moment you step inside, you feel light, relaxed, and welcomed. That sense of ease does not come from decoration. It comes from the energy of the land itself. And more often than not, that very first impression is the most honest guidance you can get. At the end of the day, a good home is a perfect harmony of many elements: warm sunlight, flowing air, the presence of nature, a peaceful location, and a deep sense of inner calm. When all these factors come together, the house does more than provide comfort. It becomes a source of blessings, protecting the family's health and wealth. That is the true foundation of a happy life, and perhaps the most precious legacy any parent can leave behind for their children. Through everything that has just been revealed, one thing becomes clear: not every house brings peace and prosperity. Some homes, no matter how spacious or well-equipped they may appear on the outside, are hiding unstable energy within, and that invisible force makes it difficult for any family to stay long-term. Whether it is a house built over an underground water vein, one standing on land marked by past tragedies, homes that constantly change owners, or places located near sources of dark energy, they all share one thing in common: a lack of life force and the overwhelming presence of negative energy. Feng Shui, at its core, is not something mysterious or mystical. It is the art of sensing harmony within our living environment. A house filled with good energy makes us feel comfortable and at ease. Life there gradually becomes more stable, joyful, and fulfilling. On the other hand, a home with chaotic energy keeps pushing us into difficult situations, no matter how hard we try. That is why, before choosing a place to settle down, remember, outer appearance is not enough. What truly matters is the energy that flows within the house. This can be felt through the quality of sunlight, airflow, the presence of greenery, and most of all, your first gut feeling when you walk through the door. Making the right choice does not only bring peace in the present, it becomes a priceless gift for future generations. If you are still listening at this point, take a moment to leave a positive affirmation in the comments below to activate a flow of good energy in your own life. You can write, "I am living in a home filled with blessings and peace." This is not just a message, it is a seed of good fortune you are planting for your future. And do not forget to hit that subscribe button to keep following along with us, because there are still so many Feng Shui secrets waiting to be uncovered. Every story is a reminder. Every lesson brings you one step closer to peace and prosperity. And who knows, maybe in the next episode, you will find the key that opens the door to abundance for your own family.